What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Street League Drone Racing, where we bring spec, open source drone racing to everybody. And tonight we're going to be bringing it to you in the form of some simulator racing. So, contrary to what we really specialize in, which is real-life drone racing, we enjoy using the DRL simulator to do some spec simulator racing. So, super excited to bring some of that to you here today. And we've got quite a group of pilots, some newcomers and some old faithfuls. And I can't wait to see how this one turns out. We've got, it's going to be a very interesting mix of pilots. And honestly, I can take a couple guesses at the podium, but it's pretty much going to be anyone's game for the ultimate prize at the end. So let's go ahead and jump into our Discord lobby. If you're interested in jumping into our Discord and hanging out with us tonight or any other night, you can go check the link in the description to our Discord server and come hang out with us. But we're going to jump in and see how qualifying is going for all of our pilots.
Street League wait for no man.
How's it going, pilots? You guys are now on the live stream, so say what's up to our... How many viewers we have? Like, we've got one. It's probably me.
What's up?
What up?
Say hello to me.
Sky. Sky.
What's his name? What's his name?
Fanboy.
His name is Sky.
Sky.
What's up? What's up? It looks like, what time are you guys ending qualifying? 7:30?
Just now.
I just got the times. And we have one lobby for pilots. We can run the whole thing with one lobby.
Perfect. All right. Let me get the sim booted up and we'll get this thing rolling.
I'm gonna get the lobby going. I'm gonna leave it public for a second, so you guys. So there's a lobby called Street League. Hop in there as fast as you can, because I gotta make it private in a second. Map vote off. You guys don't get to vote.
Tryhard, I think you're muted.
but I want to run sidelines.
Okay, let's see. Where is this lobby?
Is Earhart racing with us today?
She is.
Let's go.
Sent her a message.
All right, cool.
Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna make it private. Password is SL. If you're not in the lobby yet, literally you just have to keep trying over and over until you make it in, because
it wipes that field every time somebody new joins. So yeah, for our new pilots, jump into multiplayer and then check out the North American lobbies, which for most of us will be the default lobbies. And there's a lobby called Race Street League Sim Race, and you'll want to be in there.
Where's the
Password
live
is
stream?
SL.
Sky posted a link to the live stream in the sim race chat. Sky, does it mess you up if you like stream your OBS output directly into the lobby?
Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, 'cause that's just nice for me. I like that.
Yeah, get a little bit less delay.
I was just curious what the URL was. In case I wanted to throw it on my Facebook or something.
Yeah, we would appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, look in the sim race chat. It's in there.
Is this in the Street League thing?
Yeah, look right above the voice lobby. You'll see it.
All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you are.
Yeah.
Earhart?
I think Earhart.
She's using a different username right now. She's switched up on Steam.
Oh, okay.
I'll switch it. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna start getting some races going. J-Rise, you let me know when you got those heats set up.
Tim, actually, I thought Tim was doing it.
I'm working on that right now. Give me 1 second. And just so you guys are aware, I'm just gonna do randomized for the time being.
That works.
And they'll start to sort themselves out as the night goes on, which will be a fun thing that we get to deal with. Okie dokie. It looks like we should just have 2 groups of pilots, is that correct?
We got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9.
That's not including
Minus
lead.
2.
Yeah, oh, Led, are you racing tonight?
Yeah, we're doing one lobby. I was gonna race.
Okay. So let me think how to split that up because we have one extra pilot for that last heat. So let's do.
We have 13 pilots.
Yeah. I'm looking it out right now.
It's the slowest denominator.
Yeah, we do 3 times 4.
You guys got room for one more?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Cancel said accusation.
Who did we just add?
Laws.
Let me laws.
Okay. Yeah, you just missed qualifying, so you're gonna get to learn the track on the fly. So, good luck.
That's cool. I did that last Thursday too.
Cool.
It's been routine.
Mystery track accepted.
Love it. Get on into the lobby. It's called Street League on multiplayer.
Fire up here real quick. Yeah, I keep forgetting to turn on my Discord.
Hot. Alright, let's do this. That, we got heats going. Yeah, so we're doing 3 rounds of 4, and then we can add some people to it. So, Sky, should I start sending them?
I do not have the heats finalized because we mixed everything up.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I see.
Also, my Google Chrome is being super fun right now.
Password lowercase SL.
Yes. You want me to get in there so you can do live stream stuff?
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I
having
can totally do that.
minimal success so far. Although I did just
Alright.
generate a basic heat, so we'll see what that does.
Yeah, I see it sitting there. J-Rice, are you racing?
Nope.
All right.
You know what? I'm actually gonna restart the server real quick because it's acting a little sus.
Okay. Alright guys, the first one we're gonna run, we need Fairy, Carnivorous, Rocker Guy, and Astronaut in the race. Everyone else please spectate.
Okay, server should be back up.
Alright. Fairy and Carnivorous. Here we go.
Alright, so for those of you who are racing, who are new here, you're going to be looking for the, yeah, there you go, the race button on the right hand side. You'll want to jump up into the lobby, and we will be kicking this off. Let's go ahead and give our live stream a quick view of the game. If we can get that loaded, there we go. Beautiful. And I believe we have all of our pilots. So pilots, when you are prepared to race, go ahead and ready up, and we will kick this one off.
Cool.
So for those of you who are new to the Street League format, to our audience members, this works a lot like Mario Kart. Essentially, you're going to be racing as fast as you can around the track. I believe this one's 3 laps. And you're going to set your fastest time that you can in each round. And how that time does relative to the other pilots, that's going to determine how many points you get for that round. Your goal here is going to be to obviously maximize the number of total points that you can get by beating as many pilots as you can time-wise each round. Then after each round, we're going to be shuffling the pilots up into groups that most closely represent their skill gap. And so that will be a great way, I think, for us to bring you the closest racing that we can all night long. So we're looking forward to how some of those battles start to shape up. We expect it to be a little bit tame here right off the rip, as we've got our pilots mostly randomized, and then the heat will start to slowly increase as we work our way through the night. We're going to be doing 6 rounds of points rounds, and then we're going to be going into our top 8 finals. As we watch our first place pilot in round 1 Heat C. It's going to be Rocker Guy making his way around the track. He spent that 30 minutes pretty wisely, made sure to get a good grasp of how to take each of these turns as quickly as possible. Second place is going to be Fairy with Astronaut and Carnivorous Rock, rounding out our bottom 2. Third lap is what's being worked on right now by Rocker Guy as he works our way around the course. Some nice smooth flying from him. He's probably going to start this round off with some very serious points, but he's got some very serious competition in the other rounds so far, so we'll have to keep an eye on that clock when he finishes and see what sort of times he's setting for himself. Great racing so far from Rocker Guys. He goes on to complete his first run, and that's going to be a solid 2 minutes and 2 minutes 0.63 for Rocker Guy. Very solid time there. Fairy not too far behind, only about 6 seconds back, and they're going to start the clock for Carnivorous as he works his way around the rest of the track. And so that's one of the things we love so much about Street League, is the fact that it brings in not just the fastest, most competitive competitors, but we've also got some new people joining in, and that's been one of our favorite things so far, as we've noticed that the way the spec is set up and the openness and the community, honestly, I would have to attribute as the main reason for all of the great ways that we've been able to bring pilots together and just get to enjoy the sport of drone racing. It's a relatively new sport, and we understand that, but we like to treat it with the respect that it deserves by making sure that we give everybody a chance to try it, and we really hope here at Street League that we're doing a really good job bringing it to everybody. So anyway, that's going to be it for round 1. We're going to be waiting on our timekeeper to get that recorded, and then once he does, we're going to be loading up our next heat of pilots. That heat is going to be KB, Orange Stuff, Solus, Potato, and Leadfingers. Go ahead and jump up into that racing position. To our pilots who just completed your run, go ahead and hit the spectate button on the right, and you will be able to spectate our race while our next group of competitors does some competing.
Tim, you can go ahead and do it. I'm doing it on the fly.
Run the race, you mean?
Yep. Yeah, we're on the next heat.
Cool. Looks like we have all of our pilots. Pilots, if you're ready, go ahead and ready up for me. Just want to make sure that you guys are actually prepared, and then we will kick this off. So already getting into the weeds on round number 1. We've seen our first 4 competitors do what they can do around the track, and I imagine they're going to be pushed to do even more than that as the rounds continue. Right now, though, we've got a beautiful stream of quads here, a sort of incidentally really well-matched group of pilots. Right off the rip, we're going to see, looks like KB pushing out into the lead. Potato's going to be in that second place position, watching those blue LEDs of KB just in front. And a whole mix-up of quads thereafter as Orange Stuff works his way to try to fight to the front of the pack. He's one of the top sim contenders over the course of the years, one of the most consistently around and competing pilots and competitive pilots. If you check out any leaderboard, you'll see him pretty high up there. KB as well, and Potato doesn't care what the leaderboards look like right now, as he's just trying to get his name on the top of that leaderboard on the left side of your screen, as he unfortunately makes a little bit of a bobble. That's going to let Orange Stuff go past, and KB now solidly into the lead. Potato in third, and Leadfinger's in fourth. Solus in fifth place right now as they work their way around onto their final lap. Right now, a little bit of separation starting to appear between Potato, Orange Stuff, and KB, although Orange Stuff really wants to make that gap as small as he can going on to this last lap, working his way, trying to catch up to those blue LEDs of KB. And the little tiny tap from KB there, going to let the pass go to Orange Stuff, maybe? It looks like Orange Stuff does succeed in making the pass. Is he going to be able to make it stick? And it looks like he's not going to be able to initially. They're side by side. Who's going to come away ahead? It looks like right now KB with a little bit of a tighter turn there. And unfortunately, Orange Stuff losing out a little bit of thrust as he goes around that flag, and that's going to let him hit the ground. That's going to knock him all the way back into fourth place. Second place is going to be Potato as he goes through the finish line, and Leadfinger sneaking in for the third place position. A 2:02 for Leadfingers, but a 2:00.06 from KB. So far the fastest time, and so far the maximum points that I think we're going to see from round number 1, unless somebody pulls off something pretty crazy here going into our Heat A. So, great racing.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
All right, guys, we got Laws, FPV, 3080 bot, Streets, Imperious, and Crusher 72. If anyone who hasn't raced has not been called yet, please let us know, because that means we missed somebody.
30, I'm running the move settings, so you have to forgive me if I beat you.
Gotta love it. All right, it looks like we've got our pilots gridded up. Go ahead and ready up, pilots, when you're prepared to race.
Oh, we got an extra guy in here who's not supposed to be in here.
Orange
Oh,
stuff isn't
actually.
supposed to be in here.
Oh,
Get
sorry
outta
about
here,
that. Orange
Get
Stuff.
outta there.
You're lazy.
Have you dropped down. There we go. We've got our 5 pilots that are in this final heat of round A. And once we get the times entered from round A, we will be able to go and check out our first set of points being awarded for our race tonight here on Tryhard Tuesday. Tryhard of Tuesday so far for this round looks like it's going to be going to Imperious as he jumps into the lead. He's going to be battling it out with Crusher in that orange drone just behind, but now it looks like 3080 bot jumping up into that second place as Imperious leads the way around the track, around the carousel. A beautiful line from him there, trying to make it simultaneously as straight and as smooth as possible. Does a really great job of it so far on lap number 1, but unfortunately a crash is going to have him going down. He does collect that checkpoint though, so he just goes around the flag as needed. Some great thinking from him there, making sure he has good track awareness. That's going to let 3080 bot catch up just a little bit. Not looking quite as comfortable as Imperious so far, but I think that will change as the night continues on. Ultimately, though, it looks like Imperious has got a strong grip on that lead position as he goes around the Hurricane. Beautiful run from him so far. Barring the one mistake, he's still got plenty of speed in him. Now he's just trying to set that time to make sure that he can contend with our 2 really standout times from previous heats. And I think there's a really good chance that Imperious is going to be storing, if not top points here, certainly amongst the top 5 pilots that will be racing tonight with us. Some beautiful lines here from both 3080 bot and Imperious, but unfortunately Imperious going down. Another quick reset, but that's going to let our new leader into position. That's going to be 3080 bot in the yellow drone, and we see the trailing blue LEDs as we go through the Hurricane. And unfortunate turn of events for Imperious, going to put him in second place. Not too bad overall for this heat, but remember, he's trying to set the fastest time amongst all of the pilots in round 1. And ultimately, 3080 bot going to set himself a solid time with a 2 minutes 3 seconds. We're going to go ahead and watch the rest of our field finish on up as Crusher makes his way into the finish gate.
GG's.
Laws FPV now in 4th place, trying to make sure it stays that. Not going to let Streets get ahead of him, ideally. And our leader has set the 1 minute timer that will signify the end of our race once it expires. One of the favorite features of DRL Sim. And meanwhile, Street's working on his third lap as well. Some really good progress from him. Despite the really fast time from 3080 bot, he may be able to make it just about all the way through this track. I think if not in this round, then definitely our final rounds. I think he'll be working his way there, but ultimately, this round's going to be a timeout considering he's got some fast pilots in his heat. But we'll get him, so we'll find him some good competition. We'll get some good racing going on before the night is over. That is for sure. You can mark my words.
Good racing, guys. Thank you.
Yep, GG's.
Hey, Jay Rice, yell at me when you're ready to generate heats. Cause I have them generated. I just gotta finish times. Alright guys, we just need 1 minute for us to finish entering times and we'll generate our next heats and give you your new race order.
Alright.
Right off the rip though, based on the times that we have entered so far, we're seeing KB with the fastest time. Rocker Guy sitting in second place, Potato in third. And I believe Leadfinger's in fourth, setting a really solid set of points for himself there. We'll go ahead and show those on your screen once we get the opportunity. And give you guys a good idea of how our race is shaping up.
Alright, they're entered.
Alright, let's generate some heats.
Beautiful. So on your screen now, you can see this is our points so far. Essentially, this is just the timesheet for that round. And you'll see in round one, each pilot getting 1 point more than the next pilot. So your top 8 right now is it's looking to be KB with the maximum points there. Rocker Guy in second place. Potato, Leadfingers, Orange Stuff, 3080 Bot, Fairy, and Solus. Imperious just outside of that bubble, alongside Astronaut and Crusher. So we'll see that competition start to heat up here as the night goes on. I am absolutely certain.
Hey guys, I got bumped out of the lobby, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of fun stuff.
Do still have the Spectrum, luckily.
Excellent. Can someone, whoever's the lobby leader, please make me lobby leader?
Don't see a lobby leader.
Streets.
Yeah. Who am I making lobby leader?
Leadfingers,
Leadfingers.
please.
Got you. Hold on. I don't see I don't see you, bro.
I'm in the
He's in the top.
the top.
He's yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Shit, my bad. I was looking down.
You're good.
Alright, there we go.
Alright, there we go. And let me just make sure we're on the right drone. Good to go. Okay, guys. Round 2, Heat C is Laws, FPV, Streets, Carnivorous, and Astronaut.
Wait, did you say carnivorous?
Carnivorous. Yeah. All right.
There you go.
English is hard.
I like carnivores.
Carnival.
Hey, it gives it the extra oomph.
That little pecan. All right. Whenever you guys are prepared, ready up.
I'm gonna try not to get stuck on the block this time.
Go ahead and take this opportunity to say what's up to our chat. We got Chet Mac. He's been wanting to check this out, so yeah, if you want to, go ahead and check out our Discord. Also, Mr. Canoodle himself, as we go live with our C group. This one's going to be Astronaut, Carnivorous, Streets, and Laws, working their way through the course. And something you'll notice as the rounds go on, we have a certain way that we like to organize things. So one of our favorite things to do is start out with the, relatively speaking, slowest group of pilots. But relative to each other, there's some pretty hot competition either way. And then we'll work our way up from the, in this case, C group, all the way up to the A group of pilots as the round progresses, and you'll get to see that sort of ebb and flow of the race. Right now you're going to have leader of Astronaut. He's working his way around the track. Some pretty good consistency here. Laws not to be forgotten though, as he's sitting in second place, a couple gates back. Mainly focused just on setting the times that they know that they can. Now something that we had talked about, and you just saw it a little bit there, is Laws was working his way through that gate. With our spec drone that we like to run for these Street League races, we've done a couple of different things to make sure that the racing is exciting as it possibly can be. And there's several facets to that. So the first facet, and I'll talk about it a little bit here as you're watching our leader progress around the track. First thing we like to do is we've actually slowed the drone down just a little bit, just to make sure that it's both approachable and also competitive. Whether or not a pilot can hang on to a drone is not really a super exciting thing to watch. Crashing isn't really a big part of racing, at least not in our opinion. It can be, it can come into play, but we want that to come into play when the pilot is really pushing, not when they're trying to complete regular laps and little minor mistakes. We don't want those to be race ending for most people. So we slowed the drone down a little bit, and we've also found that that allows the competitors to compete against each other, just as we see here between Streets and Laws, as they both work their way onto their final lap. And actually Laws there already on his last lap. Looks like he was a little bit of lap traffic, or Streets was a little bit of lap traffic for him, as we get our 30 seconds now timer. And we're going to watch Streets work his way around the track now also. So one of the other things, in addition to slowing the drone down overall, is we've also introduced a feature that the sim has that's seldom used, and we think it's a great feature, and that's the battery emulation. So that means that as you're flying around the course, you're actually losing battery voltage and you're losing RPM on your motors. And that can get really interesting once you get onto that last lap and you start really trying to work your way through the course. You have to be careful that it doesn't catch you out. And we see that every once in a while where a pilot will kind of bottom out on the ground. And it takes a lot of effort to make sure that you're on top of that battery second. You know what it's going to do.
First and your last laps off for sure.
Yeah, first and last lap, very different lines even. So both the fastest pilots and the slowest pilots have to really work to make sure that they're prepared for that. So we've got some great racing from our pilots there. And it looks like our winner there, although the scoring is a little bit off once the round has ended. But the fastest time is going to go to Astronaut with a 2:08. That's a very solid time from him. Nothing to sneeze at for sure.
Good racing, guys. Thank you.
Alright guys,
You're racing, guys.
1 second. We're missing a pilot in our heat, so we gotta make sure we get them in there.
Let's take a look.
You know what, the move might be just to send it, and then and whoever gets left out in the next heat, we just run 6 for heat A.
Oh, you're saying we're missing a pilot?
It should be 4, 5, and 5. We have 4, 4, and 5, so there's one dude missing right now, and I'm having trouble figuring out who it is.
Oh, here, I think I can. Might be able to figure it out.
Crush. It looks like it's Crusher.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Is it Crusher?
I didn't race
It is
the last
Crusher.
race.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, you didn't race in the last
right
one?
now.
What's that?
Okay, you should be good.
No, he was in the last one, and
I
he's.
mean, the one that we just raced, I didn't race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to be in that one, but we'll drop him in this one.
Okay. That works. Alright, let's get 3080 bot, Ferry, Solace, Imperious, and Crusher 72.
Right.
This guy's trying to jump in there. I see it.
I'm up in there.
Go Sky.
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous at first when you're saying jumping in that one. I'm like, this guy, I don't know.
Final boss.
Don't worry about it too much. I am not as fast compared to some of these other pilots. At least not on this track. You guys are setting some absolutely killer times, and I'm just here to
But
eat
you're
some
with the other one
popcorn and
contract, though, bro.
relax. Yeah. See, on a real drone, you'll see my tone change. I'll throw some hands on the real thing, but I know the sim pilots are very well exercised at what they do, and I'm just glad to be able to showcase it to people. All right, go ahead.
Man, we're just trying to bask in your greatness so we can push forward.
I'm just the guy that wants to see some racing. So go ahead and ready up, pilots, when you are prepared to race.
All right.
All right, we are looking forward to round 2, Heat B now. We're going to be on the podiums with 3080 bot, Fairy, Solus, Imperius, and Crusher. And this is where we're going to start to see the difference between both consistency and speed. After one round, we've done a little bit of we like to consider our format somewhat of a sorting algorithm between both consistency and speed, mixing an equal combination of both. And we'll start to see where those different strategies start to either pay out or ultimately leave you holding the bag. But right now, one man not holding the bag, he's definitely riding the dip all the way to victory. So far is going to be Imperius in the lead in that blue drone. 3080 bot trying to mine a win out of this one as they go up through the high gate, down around the finishing hook, and it looks like Imperius not going to let go of this lead. Meanwhile, the battle for second is absolutely fierce between Fairy and Solus as they go onto the back straightaway, down into the U-turn gate. Nice wrap up down into the Hurricane, as they're going to get to see those blue LEDs of Imperius as he works his way through the second portion of that. But the crash going to go to Solus right now. That's going to let Fairy jump up into second place and really hang on to it, as he is on his second lap. He's going to have to hold off for one more lap here as he goes on to his final one. Third place right now going to be 3080 bot, making a couple of advancements on Fairy, starting to find the pace on this track. We've seen him go extremely fast and contend with the likes of KB in previous races, and I think we could possibly see that towards the end of the night here if KB doesn't find any crazy extra gears, which we have seen him do, so you never know. But right now, your leader going to be Imperius as he hooks his way around the final portions of that Hurricane, up through the high gate and down through the finishing hook. And it looks like Imperius is going to take a clean run, setting the fastest time we have seen so far, a 1:59.9.
Good stuff.
Great racing.
It's really smooth.
Nice job.
Imperius, do you think that was a one-off, or do you think there's more where that came from?
I think there's going to be plenty more where that came from.
I think.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
There's more where that came from.
How many other pilots do you think will have that same amount to match?
I have only seen, looks like 5 sub-2-minute cards in quality, so we'll have to see who can do it here.
You're looking at that top 5 position, then it sounds like. Well, good luck.
I'm not the only pilot who found that first, where you come in from the first turn, you got 3 gates at the bottom, and everybody does it backwards.
Yeah, there's some interesting lines to take through that section, and actually I'll take a moment and talk about this in our next heat, which is going to contain KB FPV, Rocker Guy, Potato FPV, Lead Fingers, and Orange Stuff. You guys are up next. And these are those pilots, for those of you who were wondering. But for some reason, it looks like it only wants to populate a couple of them. That's alright then. Go ahead and ready up, pilots, when you are prepared to race, and we will kick this off. This is going to be some great racing. I am looking forward to it. And we'll talk about some of those lines that we heard our pilots mentioning before. So actually. Let's go on board now with Leadfingers as he goes through the launch, and you'll see this is a twisty turn, and he almost, hucks the drone backwards and turns to the right instead of the left. Even though it's a left-hand turn, he's turning to the right because there just so happens to be less of an angle necessary to rotate the drone because you're already whipping it that way to get between those two flags. So we'll see him do it one more time here. Unless, of course, actually, let's go ahead and we'll jump on to the eyes of Orange Stuff as he chases down KB. He's in that second place position, contending with Rocker Guy right now in the yellow drone. You can see him there just ahead of his view, just ever so slightly. Now Potato also pushing as well. Let's take a look at those lines that some of our pilots are taking, and it looks like the normal line, quote-unquote, from Orange Stuff here working out pretty well for him. So there may not be one definitive way to take this course, but ultimately the way you're going to want to take it is going to look a lot more like KB's line than anybody else's in this heat. Oh, unfortunate that I should have said that right as KB goes down. That's going to let the entire field pass, and that's going to show how the pressure starts to build really quickly in this format, as one tiny mistake and all of a sudden 4 pilots go past you in the blink of an eye. Right now, the pilot taking the most advantage of that crash, looking to be either Orange Stuff or Rocker Guys. They go side by side onto the final portion of the race. Just absolute neck and neck racing between them both as Potato works his way into contention as well. They go through the U-turn gate all together. Looks like Potato might have lost a little bit of speed, but gains a lot of it back up through the twisty bit, down into the hurricane. It looks like Orange Stuff has found the most momentum to be held onto as they work their way through that section. Orange Stuff, your leader. Rocker Guy now in second place, but Potato not out of it yet as they go into the final turns of this race, and it looks like Orange Stuff possibly going to take it through the finishing hook, and he does. Rocker Guy makes the push, but not able to catch up.
There he goes. Good job. Great racing, guys.
Great racing from our top 3 pilots there.
I saw that one crazy one led, by the way.
I had one good one and then one bad U-turn, and all 3 guys pulled. Like, no shot.
So KB, I gotta say, a little bit of disappointment for you there, but you had some serious pace on the rest of the pilots there. You were leading the pack by quite a bit into those first few laps. What sort of times do you think you're going to be looking at, given that the consistency ends up being there in these later rounds?
I mean, I definitely think I can hit it in Imperious time, if not quicker. Of course, I had some bobbles that round, had a crash. It's okay. I had some crashes last week, and look how it turned out.
Yeah, you definitely have made it work in the past, despite all of the trials and tribulations that have confronted you. So I have no doubt that you'll be able to recover. So definitely looking forward to more of the battles. Orange Stuff, I gotta ask you, what is it going to take to beat some of these guys? You just did it there. You got your first heat win, I believe, and now you've got to keep doing that. What's it going to take mindset-wise for you to be able to do that for the rest of the night?
I don't know, just relax. I mean, I've been doing this for long enough that, I don't really get the nerves anymore. It's just a matter of staying focused, really.
Absolutely.
I haven't flown this drone much, but like I said, I have so many hours on this that it's pretty easy to pick up.
Yeah, with the amount of hours you've got on this sim, I think you may be the most well-practiced pilot in the lobby right now. So I think it would be a mistake for any of your competitors to overlook that. So that's going to be it for round number 2. We're just going to wait for some tallies to come in before we kick off round number 3. And I think I can get a sneak peek at some of those results, not all of them, as they trickle in.
I think we're up to date.
Oh, they're up to date. Let's go ahead and check out our new scoreboard. And there it is. So right now, your leader looks like it's going to be Rocker Guy, not scoring maximum points in either of his 2 rounds, but maximizing the points that he could grab by being both consistent and fast. So he's going to be in that number 1 position with 25 points. KB FPV going to be sitting tied with a 3-way tie between Orange Stuff and Potato FPV. So KB, Orange Stuff, Potato FPV all tied for second place. Only 2 points back. That's going to be Leadfingers. our resident race director throwing hands to prove that the staff can do it as well. So we love seeing the Street League staff actually eat their own dog food as we work our way through these rounds. And I believe we will have some heats here. It looks like we've already got our heats generated. So this next round is going to be Astronaut, Laws FPV, Streets, and Carnivorous Rock. You guys are up next, and go ahead and ready up when you're prepared, pilots. So already kind of showcasing, you can see the points for the race on your right, and we're already seeing some super contentious battles for that top position as we go into round number 3. We've already got some speed developing here in this round as we go on to the lead lap with Astronaut and Laws FPV. Going to have a little bit of a chase down here into the U-turn gate. Who's going to be able to manage that altitude? It looks like they're both able to do it well as they go up through the twisty bit, down through the hurricane. A little bit of altitude perturbation there from Laws, but he's going to be able to keep the line ultimately as we see Astronaut go down with a little bit of a crash there. So there's going to be an opportunity for Laws to get some extra points there on Astronaut, barring any inconsistencies. And that's really going to be the trick for a lot of the pilots in the earlier stages of the round, is making sure that they can hang on to that consistency, because ultimately the crashes that will be had by the pilots in the lead, that's an opportunity for them to grab as many points as possible. Now, the difference here, format-wise, between real-life racing and sim racing is that in the sim, a crash isn't quite as detrimental because we have a reset switch. But if you're racing in real life, the consistency starts to matter a whole lot more, despite how tough the Street League drones actually are. They are the toughest spec, without a doubt, that any pilot can participate in. We've done a lot of work to make sure that the rulebook ensures that the types of drones people are building are super tough and super durable and ultimately enjoyable to fly. That's the #1 thing for us. Beautiful flying here from Laws. We're just taking a nice Sunday cruise around the course as we see him in that lead position, leading Astronaut onto the lead lap. Astronaut about 2 gates back and making some headway here. He's pushing a little bit. He thinks he's got the speed, and so that does seem to be the correct strategy for him here. But is it going to be enough to get him ahead of Laws? They go on to the last portion of the track, down through the finishing hook, and it looks like Laws FPV going to take the win in Heat C. Astronaut securing himself a 2nd place. A good recovery after the crash and gaining a lot of the time back. But ultimately, not quite the win that I think he would have hoped for. But Laws FPV going to have his time to shine here in round number 3. We've got about 30 seconds left for our remaining pilots. That's going to be Streets and Carnivorous. We're going to go on board with Streets here as he works his way around the hurricane section. A little bit of a tricky section, trying to make sure you've got the angle just right as you work your way through that gate. And
oh, you got it, man.
He's going to be able to finish out this 2nd lap. So unfortunately, it's probably going to be a timeout time unless he can get around the course in 9 seconds. But he's definitely going to get the little bit of extra practice there as he gets on to that lead lap. So great racing from him as well as Carnivorous as we work our way onto Heat B.
I love it. That little section right there is my favorite. It's got to be my favorite.
It's super interesting.
If I can hit it. Look, I can hit it. I haven't hit it on camera yet, but if I can hit that little section and reverse it back, oh my God, it's so smooth.
It's
so smooth.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just for the sake of our pilots actually, on Discord, I'm going to see if I can stream our heats. So Heat B is going to be Imperious FPV, 3080 bot, Fairy, Solus, and Crusher. You guys are up next.
All right.
All right, go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race, pilots. Let's go ahead and check out our live stream just for a moment. We got Solus saying what up as he races. Got Canoodle chilling in our chat. Just saying congrats to 3080 bot for his first place in one of these, as well as Chet Mack says he's definitely getting more interested, so we'd love to have you. We always enjoy having the new pilots as we go on to our next heat here with Imperius, 3080 bot, Fairy, Solus, and Crusher. Looks like a little bit of a mishap there for 3080 bot, as that's going to let Imperius jump on into the lead in that blue drone. The yellow drone of Fairy going to be playing chase. Both Solus and 3080 bot chasing after him as they go on to the lead lap, lap number 2 with Imperius. Right about now. Some great racing from Imperius so far. Solid run from him. We saw him run the fastest time of the round in round number 2. Is he going to be able to do it again here? The little mishap that he had in round 1 dropped him a little ways in points, but I think we're going to see him work his way up the pack, as he's been one of our top contenders here in the Street League sim races as well as our real life Street League races. So he's got the stats to pack a win in here as he goes on to lap number 3. 3080 bot going to be in second place. He's going to be battling it out with Fairy, both in yellow. Right now you're going to see 3080 bot on the left side and Fairy on the right side of your screen as they work their way onto the back straightaway through the U-turn. A lot of time to be had there, and it looks like 3080 bot found it up through the twisty bit, but unfortunately a mistake there from 3080 bot. That's going to let Fairy make the pass as they get to see those blue LEDs from Imperius just now exiting the Hurricane section, going up through the high gate and down through the finishing hook. And it looks like Imperius going to take the lead and take the win with a 2:00.16. And the race to the finish between Fairy and 3080 bot was fierce. Looks like Fairy just barely edging it out by 0.02 of a second. Great racing, guys.
What the fuck? Good race.
That was incredible to watch. We've got something. Sorry, I can't read those alphabet letters. Boy54, we'll refer to him as. He's here for his boy Imperius FPV. Appreciate that. I'm sure he appreciates the encouragement. And Chet Mack asking, is there a throttle cap for the sim? So on this spec drone, if you go ahead and search for SL spec version or V1.1, it's made by yours truly, Sky FPV. That drone does not require a throttle cap. It is slowed down based on the physics.
Oh, this is stacked right here, stacked.
This is going to be a crazy heat. Crazy heat. Let's go ahead and kick this one off, pilots, when you are prepared to race. And at some point here, I do think I need to make some changes to my sim in order to make sure I get some of those frame rates back. There we go. Hopefully that'll help. Alright, we've got podiums with KB, Rocker Guy, Potato, Leadfingers, and Orange Stuff all off and away. An incredibly stacked heat here. You've probably heard those names before if you've paid any attention at all to the sim racing scene here on the DRL sim. Right now, it looks like your leader going to just barely beat KB, battling it out with Leadfingers. as they work their way through the twisty bit. Actually, that's Rocker Guy, excuse me, in that yellow drone just behind the blue LEDs of KB. Potato in third place. Rocker Guy pushing on the tail of KB and making the pass. Is he going to be able to make it stick as he goes up through the high gate? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. The finishing hook, and they're side by side. Looks like KB just has the slightest advantage here. Oh my goodness, some great racing between both Rocker Guy and KB as we see them on the back straight, just neck and neck. Absolutely incredible turns, every single turn from each of these pilots. Some slightly different line work as we see Rocker Guy working his way to the front of the pack. Orange Stuff now pushing on that pack as well. Orange Stuff in third place, KB and Rocker Guy indistinguishable. We're going to have to let the timekeeper tell us who wins as we work our way onto the lead lap, down through the finishing hook, side by side still with KB and Rocker Guy. The nerves are tense. Who's going to be able to handle the pressure? Right now, it's looking to be just barely KB. And now the switch up, Rocker Guy in the lead, getting a nice entrance onto that straightaway and working it into the twisty bit. Is he going to be able to hang on to the momentum? It looks like he is. KB now falling into second place, only just. Rocker Guy with the momentum conservation going his way through the hurricane section, and a little bit more of a lead now as we see Rocker Guy storm into the lead and take the win away from KB. One turn left. Is he going to be able to hang on to it? And he is. It's going to go to Rocker Guy with a 159.46. KB setting a 159.57. Not only the fastest times we have seen so far tonight, but two of them side by side the entire way.
KB was pushing me so hard, man.
Yeah. GG's, Rocker. You got it.
That was a race for the replay highlight. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, is it going to be like that all night, guys?
Oh, yes.
Looking like it.
Can you handle it being like that all night? That's the other question.
By the time if we do this starting now, the entire time, the shakes and the nervousness should be out by finals.
You'll just get used to it. If the pressure's high all the time, is the pressure really high? There's no way to know.
Is it? Is it?
Great racing there from our Heat A pilots. Those are our fastest group of pilots as we conclude round number 3. We're going to be we're halfway through the race at this point, points-wise, and then we will be kicking it off into our top 8 finals. So we're
Hey
waiting
guys,
on...
whoever is the new lobby leader, please make me the lobby leader. I keep getting
Streets is always the king.
Is it always Streets? It doesn't kill me. Yeah.
It's in the top left corner of the box.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Streets. Why don't you give that to me?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. It loves me.
It does like me a lot. You got that low ping. Yeah.
And that won't let me give it to you.
That's funny.
Unfortunate. You able to give it to me?
Which is
Sky FPV? Or just Sky?
Yes. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. That
Okay.
worked.
Yeah. No, it doesn't like you, love fingers. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I think my ping's too high. It says 60 millisecond ping. I should be good.
Yeah, you should be leader now.
No to you. No. All right.
Beautiful. Got it sorted. No problems.
Cool.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our race results because I believe they are already ready. And it looks like they are. So at the conclusion of round 3, your fastest racer gonna be Rocker Guy, setting the fastest time and taking home the maximum points of 14 there. He's gonna be sitting pretty with 39 points. Second place gonna be KB. Orange Stuff sitting in third. Do we have any ties? We've got some close battles between third place and fifth place between Orange Stuff, Potato, and Imperious. Only 1 point consecutively separating each of them. So I think we'll see some switch-ups there as the night goes on. But Leadfingers is not out of it for sure. The bubble right now going to be between Fairy and Solus. Fairy is starting to gain a little bit of an edge there on Solus, but we'll see if things pick up here in round number 4. And it looks like we have our pilots already readying up, so go ahead and kick this round off when you're prepared, pilots.
Hold on, am I in this race?
Looks like this race is going to be carnivorous.
Alright, cool. Yeah, alright, let's go.
Oh, cool. So we got carnivorous, street, sloths, and astronaut.
No worries, I'm being sneaky in the background, forcing pilots into their heats.
keeping the
Gotcha.
well-oiled machine running. Here we go with our bottom 4 pilots right now. Fighting their way for some pride here at this point. Also taking a moment to learn a little bit about just how to get fast in general. That's one of the beautiful things here is we get quite the skill mixture of pilots, and we think that's how you cultivate some of the fastest pilots. You got to start somewhere, and why not Street League?
What simulator is this?
This simulator is the Drone Racing League simulator. We found that it was the simulator that best emulates the types of drones that we fly on Street League. Although there are very many great simulators to choose from, this is the one we prefer.
Sounds good.
And I think it's a relatively reasonable purchase on Steam, although I can't on Steam. I don't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but it's a lot less money financially than buying your first drone and crashing it. That is for sure. So you can get through all the crashing you need right here in the sim, and you can do all the learning about how to get fast on our Discord server, which is in the link to this live stream. And we got so many helpful people here to make sure that everyone's taken care of and enjoying their stay in the FPV community, as
The
well
Drone
as
Racing
the.
League simulator is $9.99.
Oh my gosh, it's much cheaper than it has been in the past, even. So that's great. So for about $10, you can save yourself a whole lot of heartache and wallet ache. By grabbing the sim and joining us in one of our racing tournaments.
Oh yeah, I'll give it a shot. We're paying $20 to $30 something on it.
Yeah, it's a pretty great price right now. Definitely, if you've got a friend who's thinking about getting into FPV, now's the time to send them a link to the sim, because it's just such a great tool that wasn't available to us always. I think many of the pilots who are racing here, who are in that A group, remember a time when drone racing was, no matter how you did it, a pretty expensive thing to get into. I know that was true for myself, and to see that barrier of entry get lowered is always such an awesome thing. Something that's really awesome to point out also is that one of our most repeated sim winners, KBFPV, you started on the sim, right? On this sim in particular.
Yes.
And you've now got yourself, you're sitting pretty with some Street League street cred in our real life season. So I think, how hard was that transition for you? Between the sim and...
Well, thank you, Streets.
He's got that going for him too.
Yes, I do.
Trying to drag it, bro.
For good reason.
It's more of of course it's easy to get sim stick time, and just like sim you need IRL stick time, but with IRL you got to have more confidence in you doing the sim.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part to get over, because I believe I could fly in real life like I do in the sim. It's just need more practice with it, and
This gives you the confidence and the ability to know and understand what you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah, I think also maybe like real life situations may take a factor in that, like wind conditions and all that good stuff.
Muscle
Weather.
memory. Muscle memory. That's the biggest thing. Muscle memory.
Absolutely. And this is going to be where
That's what you gain.
we're going to put some of that to the test here in Heat B. This one's going to be between Leadfingers, 3080 Bot, Fairy, Solus, Crusher. Go ahead and ready up when you guys are ready to race.
KB, I remember watching you race, and you could tell you're like, oh, this is different, and every once in a while you would forget that it was real life, and you do like one section just like you do it in the sim, and you come out so fast, and like you see these flashes, just like he forgot he was flying a real quad.
Yep.
You're very much right about that. I don't know. I just need more practice. I need to come out to Florida, Colorado. That's it. I need to come out there.
Yeah, you'll come out and do some real racing with us. Right now, the racing we're especially interested in, though, who's going to be taking Heat B? Right now, we got stuff to tell. We've got all the yellow and orange drones in this heat. Right now, though, it looks like it's going to be Leadfingers in the lead, one of our Colorado locals, as well as both a Street League and Colorado race director. And he's going to be working his way through the Hurricane section in that lead position. He's going to be having to contend with 3080 Bot and Ferry, though, also in yellow drones. So seemingly everyone of this particular speed is has a favorite color, it seems, as they work their way onto the second lap. Unfortunately, we're going to see Leadfingers go down there. Now he's going to have to contend with Solus for the third place position, as 3080 Bot now in first. Nice, solid work from him, staying consistent, staying fast, staying smooth as he works his way through the Hurricane. Some great racing from him so far, surviving the pressure and the carnage that can sometimes occur all throughout the race, not just lap 2. I think sometimes towards the end is where that pressure really is greatest, but no pressure so far on 3080 Bot as he's free and clear of Leadfingers and Solus, who battle it out for that second place position. Fourth place is going to be Ferry. Fifth place is going to be Crusher as we go on to that lead lap with 3080 Bot. Some great racing from him here so far. We don't really see too much to be gained here from Leadfingers. Both him and 3080 Bot were essentially neck and neck as they were going through that first lap. So it's going to be tough to gain some ground on somebody who you're roughly equivalent to in speed. But Leadfingers is going to give it the old college try here as he works his way through the lap in that second place position. Sola is falling a little bit back now from Leadfingers. Leadfingers really establishing that position for himself as 3080 Bot establishes first place for himself with a 2-minute and 1 second run. Very good run from him there.
Ooh, dude, that what are we calling it? The Kvak slalom is a little rough in the sim. I liked it better in real life.
Yep. It's really interesting to see how those differences come into play. This track was one of the tracks that we raced in real life in Colorado. And so, admittedly, Leadfingers has a little bit of an advantage here, but 3080 Bot took advantage of some of those differences that Leadfingers ran into throughout the track.
Great race, guys.
Yeah, dude, that was fun.
Good racing.
Dude, oddly enough, that crash that I had where I nicked the flag was the same way I was messing up in real life when I did mess up.
Oh, interesting. All right, looks like we're looking for Rocker Guy, KB, FPV, Orange Stuff, Potato, Imperius. You guys are up next. Just so you know, in the Discord, I have a live stream of the heats. So if you want to preemptively jump into those positions, feel free to. And I'll try to keep that as up to date as I can throughout the race. And it looks like we already have. We need Leadfingers to jump down. I think that's it. Who else do we have in there that's not supposed to be in there?
I think it's Ferry.
KB, or something. Oh yeah, Ferry. If you could jump down, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry.
Get out of there, Ferry.
The double switcheroo. Alright, go ahead and ready up, pilots. And here we go. This is going to be Heat A, our fastest group of pilots here tonight. They're going to be racing it out to take the win in round number 4 and to maximize their points for the night so far. Remember, you're trying to get into that top 8 position so you can make it to finals. And setting the fastest time and beating the most pilots that you can time-wise for the round. That's how you're going to have to do it as they work their way onto that first lap. We're in the eyes of Orange Stuff here as it looks like he has a little bit of a slow launch compared to some of our other pilots, or possibly Ping, tough to tell which, but either way, he's going to be working his way through that pack already, trying to pull Lewis Hamilton from back to front. He works his way up, now battling it out with KB and Potato. KB hanging on to that lead pretty strong though, not going to let go of it that easy, as Imperius also hungry for that win. We saw him initially set one of the fastest times of the round in round number 2. KB taking that position, actually no, Rocker Guy taking that position back, but unfortunately it looks like we've lost Rocker Guy so far to the back of the pack, as we see the main grouping here is going to be KB, Orange Stuff, and Imperius working their way through the twisty bit. KB doing an excellent job hanging on to that lead regardless of the pressure that Imperius is providing from the back. Through the Hurricane section they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, a nice little pack there as we are on lap number 2. Up through the high gate they go. Starting to be a little bit of a train now, but they're still staying close. Orange Stuff now pushing on the blue tail of Imperius, but unfortunately going down, and that's going to let Imperius have a little bit of breathing room, but not much. Potato now going to have to stave off the advances of Orange Stuff through the U-turn gate, up through the twisty bit. Imperius working his way, trying to make the pass on KB. He's certainly not losing ground, that's for sure, and a nice late apex from him there. Gonna let him potentially pull side by side at least. They're side by side, yep, up through the high gate, around the flag, and it looks like Imperius now making the switch up, capitalizing on some minor errors from KB. But that's all it takes for Imperius to take the win, setting his... Oh, actually, no. Looks like we were looking at some lag there. And it looks like our winner going to be KB with a 159.78. Imperius in second place with a 159.81. Only 0.03 of a second back. It was an absolutely close battle.
Wild.
Wow.
Yeah, Imperius kind of leaned forward right at the last second.
Pulling on you, brother.
That was an incredible run there in lap number 3.
Job, Imperius.
Orange
job,
Stuff
KB.
not far behind, though. Only a couple tenths of a second.
We'll run it back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it looks like Potato took... The scoreboard's not showing it correctly, but our times should record it correctly. Potato got a 2-minute flat .39. So he's going to take third place. Orange Stuff, only about two tenths of a second back. Crazy racing. I think finals should be interesting. So maybe I'll take this opportunity to describe our finals format to those of you who are new to it. This whole format is was created by us from the ground up, although we were heavily inspired by several different racing leagues, so we can't take credit for everything. Ironically, though, one of those things is Mario Kart has what we believe to be a pretty great racing format in terms of how the points are distributed and whatnot. So we took a little bit of that. We took a little bit of ELO from esports, and we also took some of the basic concepts that drone racing has learned as a sport. And we've applied all of those things to come up with what we believe is the formula for the best racing that drone racing can possibly have. Speaking of that, it looks like we already have results, so let's go ahead and look at those before I delve too deeply into our format. So right now, your leader going to be KBFPV, taking it back from Rocker Guy, now with 50 points. Rocker Guy only 2 points back, and we've got a 3-way tie for third place. This is sort of the story of Street League drone racing, where you've got these really contentious groups of pilots. They've all got the opportunity to push, and they're incentivized to make sure they're not taking too much risk, and we're seeing Imperius, Orange Stuff, and Potato all trying to balance out that risk and make sure that they're maximizing points without losing position.
Hey, Carnivore, I think you got bumped out of the lobby. Why don't you hop back in?
Anywho, it looks like... 1 second. Rhiannon? They're looking for you. You're out? Okay. Looks like Carnivore is out. So we're going to be losing 1 pilot. Alright, sorry about that. So it looks like 4th or 6th place going to be Lead Fingers. Try not to get bumped onto that bubble. 3080 bot also in a similar position, as well as Fairy and Solus pounding on the door saying, "Let me in." And he's only 4 points back from Fairy, so anything could happen, as we saw Solus beat Fairy there. If you take a look at round number 4 for Solus and Fairy, Solus beating out Fairy by just 1 position, so only just faster. So if he could, he would have to have somebody split him up, split up both him and Fairy in order to get enough points before round 6 is complete. So it's going to be interesting to see if that can happen.
All right, I think we're ready to send them.
All right, go ahead and ready up, pilots, when you are prepared to race. Now, something that's super fun, we spent a lot of time working out the points format, but we really wanted to have a nice climax for the end of our racing night. So what we've got for our format is we run the top 8 pilots. So we split those into 2 groups of pilots. We've got semifinal B and semifinal A. And the main idea in semifinals is to get a win. So if you get a win in semifinals, you are automatically advancing to top 4. And then we race back that same semifinal group with just the remaining 3 pilots that have not yet advanced. Once we have 2 advancing pilots from each of our semifinal groups, then we have our top 4 pilots, and we kick it off into the top 4 series. And in the top 4 series, it's going to be sort of the opposite. It's actually going to be make sure you don't get last. And we race our first group of 4 pilots. Last place pilot is eliminated. We race the remaining 3. Last place pilot's eliminated. And then we bring it down to the 1v1 that will decide it all and decide who our fastest pilot of the night is. Right now, the fastest pilot of Group C looking to be Astronaut as he works his way through the course, capitalizing a little bit on some of the mistakes you saw earlier from Law's FPV. Some great racing from Astronaut here. We've seen him be fairly consistent, and it's mainly been a little bit of a duel between him and Law's FPV. Law's FPV working his way now onto that lead lap as well, the 3rd and final lap, as he makes his way through the multiple choice gate. Meanwhile, Astronaut working his way through the Hurricane. Some great racing here from all 3 of our pilots, as we've seen those times drop as the night goes on, and that's ultimately what we want to see. We love the real close battles, but we really just love seeing the pilots work on their skills and really brush up under competition and under that pressure that comes with. Something that I think is relatively unique to FPV is the amount of pressure that it can put you under psychologically and sometimes even emotionally. And you see it to a great degree in the sim, but I think you really see it present itself when you're under goggles in real life. And we think that the sim is a great way to start preparing for that experience, because it's a really awesome thing to get to experience. But ultimately, it can be a bit intimidating, as it's not super easy to just intuitively pick up FPV. There's a lot that goes into it. For example, we'll pull up the controller overlay here as we watch one of our pilots work his way around the course. There are so many different combinations of inputs that you're going to be using to guide the drone through each of these gates. And the gates are only typically about 5x5, although there's a lot of bigger gates. But in real life, that's typically what you're dealing with.
GG, guys. Appreciate it.
Man, I felt like I hit everything that time. Everything.
I hit everything on that run. That was my worst run for this. Yeah. GG's, guys.
Yeah, good race, guys.
GG's from our pilots as we start to heat things up a little bit. We work our way into Heat B. That's going to be Leadfinger's 3080 bot, Fairy, Solus, and Crusher. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race, pilots. here we go. Heat B, our second fastest group of pilots. Some of these pilots are going to be on that bubble. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our points here as we grid them up. So it looks like Ferry, 3080 bot, and Solus really on that edge, trying to make their way into the top 8 here in Heat B. This is where tensions will rise as we go on to the lead position with Lead Fingers. As we watch Ferry work his way around the twisty bit. Nice tight line from him there. Although it looks like 3080 bot, your leader, not letting go of that position so easily. Through the high gate, down through the finishing hook, starting to gain a little bit of separation. So I think 3080 bot going to end up with some decent points here if he can hang on to it. Meanwhile, the battle for second place is going to be between Ferry and Solus onto the back straightaway. And a nice pass there from Ferry, trying to keep Solus out of that top 8 position. These two are your bubble boys, and they're going to be contending for that position. And a nice switch up there from Solus, hanging on to a little bit of extra momentum, trying to keep that speed high. You don't have any tires to work with here, so any energy that you lose is ultimately gone, and you want to try to make everything as much of a straight line as possible. And unfortunately, we've got a little bit of a zigzag line there from Solus as he has an issue with the triple gate, the multiple choice section, and that's going to let Ferry now actually onto the lead as we see some mistakes there from 3080 bot. And 3080 bot and Lead Fingers now battling it out as well. You can see Lead Fingers initially, at least, with the advantage on 3080 bot, but now they're just about side by side. All 3 yellow drones now in a perfect yellow flying triangle as they go on to the last portion of the track. Who's going to take it? It's going to be tough to tell. Looks like Lead Fingers is hanging on to it, but no. It's Lead Fingers by 1/100th of a second. 3080 bot taking second place, and just 0.3 of a second back is going to be Ferry. All of our yellow pilots.
1/100th of a second. Sorry.
You guys were in sync there.
Now.
Great flying.
Dude, I got a fat fishing pole out on that one.
Really reeled it in there. Alright, and that's going to leave room for our A group. This next group of pilots is going to be KB, FPV, Rocker Guy, Imperious, Orange Stuff, and Potato. Alright, there we go. We've got our pilots gridded up. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race. This is going to be Heat A for round 5. After this, we've only got one more round to go before our positions are settled and we decide our top 8. And after that, we're going to be jumping into the top 8 race, which in which the format will change up just a little bit. Actually, it'll change up a lot, and it should get pretty interesting. Looks like we've got our chat popping off. We'll get to that just after this race as we go onto that lead lap with KB FPV already storming ahead, the signature extremely speedy launch that we've seen from him every single race. And a little bit of a tap there from Orange Stuff. Stays together, stays in the pack as they go up through the twisty bit. We've got a beautiful chase cam here as we watch Potato in the white drone try to stave off the advances of Imperius, who now blasts ahead of KB with the mistake, clapping into the gate, and that's going to let Imperius charge into the lead on lap number 2. He's going to be chased now by Orange Stuff and Potato. Potato hungry for some extra points here. We've got I believe he is part of that 3-way tie, if I remember correctly. And this is, ties will be broken in this round for sure. They can't stick around for too long because only one person can end up with that point. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be maximizing points? It's most likely going to be somebody here in Heat A, as they're on a different level right now, flying out of their minds. Imperius just on an absolute tear. I think this may end up being a sub 2-minute run as he works his way through the high gate. Let's go ahead and check out that orbit view as they all go in sync through the start finish line. Now a super tight battle as we see Orange Stuff make a beautiful pass there. We were playing chase cam using him almost the entire race, and now that's not going to work out because he's pushing for that lead position as he chases that blue tail of Imperious through the twisty bit. A nice tight section from him there. Incredibly good run so far from all of these pilots as Imperious still holding on to that lead through the hurricane. He's not going to let it go as he goes down and around up through the high gate. Orange Stuff in second, Potato in third. Who's it going to go to? Looks like it's going to be Imperious down through the finishing hook, and he takes it. Orange Stuff just barely edging out Potato for second place. Potato with third. KB with the fourth place position. Still a solid time. Still plenty to get him into that top 8 position, but definitely looking for the win there. I think they were all looking for it is the problem, and they've all got the ability to take it. Great racing as we finish out round 5. Round 6 will be our final round before we kick it off into the top 8, in which our format will change up a little bit to determine our fastest pilot of the night here on Tryhard Tuesday. If you're interested in jumping on any of these simulator races, we welcome one and all. The best way to do that is to check the description of the live stream, where we have a link to our Discord, and that's where we do most of our communication. Although we've also got a Facebook, Instagram, etc. And we've got our sim schedule listed in there. You can go ahead and check out the Discord events. But yeah, we've got pretty poppin' chat right now. Looks like we've got some people rooting for Imperious. He's got some homies in the chat. Sola says, what a heat. Sparker FPV.
Come on, bro, get it. Yeah, push it up, push it up, push it up.
Yup. We've got some pilots mentioning Cali Clash. So Cali Clash is going to be our season, or race number 3 of our season for the 2022 season. It's going to be an awesome collaboration with the California guys. And there's going to be Freedom Spec Racing, Street League Racing, Open Class Racing, you name it. It's all going to be there. But if you want to earn that street cred, that's going to be the next opportunity to do it. All right, and it looks like we are looking for our next group of pilots already, I believe, as we've got round 6 generated. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the points, though. I bet we've got some switch-ups. Your leader right now, after the conclusion of round 5, looking like it's going to be KB by 2 points. Imperious has climbed his way through the ranks after the little bit of an upset, we'll call it, at the beginning of the race. Now in second place position, we've got a tie for third place between Rocker Guy and Orange Stuff now. There's Potato only 1 point back in 5th place. 6th place going to be Lead Fingers with 44, 3080 Bot with 41, and your top 8 going to be rounded out by Fairy. So far, it's theoretically possible that Solus could make his way in there if Fairy were to have a catastrophic round and Solus were to pop off, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to be looking for our Heat C pilots. And once you are up in that race, go ahead and ready up as we will kick this race off. It looks like we're waiting for the ready up from Streets.
Hold on, guys. Hold up. We have 4 pilots in this heat.
We should only have
3.
3.
All right. We can.
Sorry
we can
about
run
that.
3-5-5. That's okay.
Sorry about that.
I think only 3 were there.
We had 3. I was incorrect. We should have had 4, but we'll bump them to the next heat and it'll be all right.
Just race, guys.
And we're going to kick this one off with Heat C. It's going to be Astronaut, Laws, and Streets. Streets in the blue drone, Laws FPV in the purple, and Astronaut in the teal drone. And we've seen a little bit of mixing up between Astronaut and Laws in the past in this heat. So not really sure how to call it in this one. I think it's ultimately going to come down to whichever pilot ends up with the consistency to pull it off. Right now, that's looking to be Laws FPV as he works his way around the Hurricane, up through the center gate, down and around, up through the high gate. A really solid lap from Laws FPV so far, as he's going to finish that lap out. Just about a 48-second lap from him there. Of course, we'll have to wait until the end to know ultimately what his time ends up being for the round's worth of points. But the crash from Laws FPV, that's going to let Astronaut move up into the lead now as he goes through the U-turn gate. Up around through the twisty bit. He's going to be chased down by Laws FPV through the Hurricane. Hurricane has been one of those sections that we see some mistakes from. You're trying to apex that as tightly as you can, but you really want to focus on that exit speed, and I think that right now Astronaut is making sure that he's got some decent exit speed through each of these gates as he works his way onto the lead lap, lap number 3, where he is trying to finish out this race strong. He had a little bit of a bobble there during the middle, but held it together and managed to take the lead back from Laws FPV. And the purple drone working his way through the back straight. Astronaut FPV now through the twisty bit onto the Hurricane. And the mistake now from Astronaut. He gets the quick reset though, and they're side by side again here in Heat C. Round number 6 is the last round. This one's going to be for pride amongst our two pilots here between Laws FPV and Astronaut as they work their way around the last portion of the race. Laws FPV can probably see the teal LEDs of Astronaut, but Astronaut ultimately with a better turn there, and he's going to take the win. Laws FPV made a valiant effort to take that one back from him, but ultimately Astronaut proved to be just a little bit too quick in their final round of the race. Great racing from our pilots there as they set the time out for Streets. He's just going to set the fastest time that he can. And that's what we like to see, is those times getting faster and faster throughout the day. It's a lot of work to get to the point where you can set those super fast times. You see the big difference here from Heat A all the way down to Heat C. The battles are close themselves, but ultimately you're looking at several tens of seconds potentially, depending on the skill gap. So that's one of the things we really love about the format, is that it makes sure that we get to see that close racing all day long, but at the same time, we're letting all the pilots get their packs in, get practiced, and ultimately really get to enjoy the sport of drone racing. So we love to do that here, both virtually and real life at Street League. And tonight, we're doing Tryhard Tuesday, where all the tryhards can jump on the sim and give it a shot.
That was without a doubt my worst run.
Oh, unfortunate. Sorry to hear.
I've done so much faster than that, but yeah, worst run.
Yeah, there's always a faster one somewhere in there. It's just a matter of finding it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, as I think that will probably be it for most of our C group pilots. We're moving our way now into the bubble group, the B group. It's somewhat coincidental that it be called that. And that is going to be Leadfinger's 3080 bot, Fairy, Solus, and Crusher. I believe we had one pilot we needed to move into this heat. Did we add them already?
That was me, I thought.
Okay.
I was in the earlier group and I wasn't in there.
Perfect. Okay, so we got you in there. I believe you guys.
I got used to being in the B group, and then I didn't realize that I was swapped to the C group.
So gotcha.
I ended up, I'm in the wrong one, so I left right before you started.
Oh, that's all good. Alright, go ahead and ready up when you guys are prepared to race.
You guys don't even realize me and Jay Rice in the background playing 60 chess, moving people around.
Oh yeah, you guys have been killing it tonight, by the way. I get the easy job. I just get to sit here, be a pretty face, although I think I'm doing a pretty bad job at that, but you know what? We're loving it. We're having a good time.
special shout out to J-Rice for entering every person's time for every race tonight by hand.
Yeah, if we do, shout out to all the sim designers out there. If you make a sim and it has a REST API, we will switch to your sim. Period. Anywho, we're off with Heat B here. It's going to be 3080 bot, Leadfingers, Fairy, Solus, and Crusher. All off and away. Some nice starts from our pilots. We're going to see that flying yellow V here as we go on to the twisty bit. That's going to be 3080 bot, Leadfingers, and Fairy. We've seen them finishing quite closely. Solus working on penetrating that pack as well, though. Looks like he's working on doing that as he has a nice line there, trying to get ahead of Fairy, and it looks like he's managed to make that pass into the third place position. Meanwhile, first place is going to be Leadfingers holding on to that lead position on the lead lap now, lap number 2. And 3080 bot is hungry and side by side now with Leadfingers. Who is going to take this through the U-turn gate? Looks like Leadfingers hanging on to it. Oh, a nice tight turn there, and comes down with the momentum into the hurricane section, working the momentum, working the lines, using gravity to his advantage as he goes through the center gate, just barely ahead of 3080 bot. 3080 bot now just beside, though, doing some line work of his own and pushing into the lead down through the finishing hook, and it looks like 3080 bot makes the pass stick, but unfortunately Leadfingers gonna take it right back through the multiple choice gate, but there's only one choice in this situation when a battle's this close, and that's gonna be the tightest gate of them all. And Leadfingers with a critical mistake there puts him all the way back in 4th place position, and that's gonna let 3080 bot jump into the lead now. That's gonna leave Leadfingers to battle it out with Solus and Fairy. Fairy now going down with a little bit of a crash, but not enough to let Crusher make the pass. Right now, first place, though, going to go to 3080 bot as he goes onto the home straight, and he takes the win. Second place going to go to Leadfingers, making a brilliant recovery. Solus getting that extra point on Fairy, attempting to break into the top 8, but ultimately not going to be enough points to do it, though he's proven that he can beat Fairy, just not consistently enough. So we look forward to seeing him make another attempt here in future races here at Street League Drone Racing.
Great race, Led.
That was my best race.
Dude.
Congratulations, that was a awesome race to watch.
I think my finger is way more.
An advantage, so that way
I had
you
a
can
couple bad lines, and you caught me, and I had a really good back slalom, and it was like pulled it out like, oh yeah, I got this one wrapped up. Fucking messed up the U-turn.
Oh man, that's just
I was pushing
unfortunate.
hard though, dude. That was everything.
Gotta add some more lead.
Good racing, guys. Good racing.
Good racing, fellas. And I think that is going to be Adios. Who's in that run? That run was... So I believe we're going to say goodbye to Solus, Astronaut, Crusher, Laws FPV, Streets, and Carnivorous for the time being. Meanwhile, this is going to be a bit of a victory lap.
I'm just giving y'all some time to where y'all can, you know, get up
Oh,
to
yeah.
our level.
That's what I love hearing. It'll happen. If you don't stay sharp, there's going to be a new young gun. Or an old one, you never know.
Come on through.
Old dogs, they may not need new tricks.
Few weeks.
I'm coming for KB. He just don't know. I'm coming for KB.
Let's do it. Come on.
He's waiting. He's gonna be fighting downhill though, I think.
Yeah. I'm coming uphill. He's coming downhill.
Love to see it though. Absolutely love to see it.
Coming for you, brother. I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon.
Don't doubt it.
All right, you can see those points updating in real time on the right side of your screen. For the most part, your top 8 going to be relatively consolidated, barring any absolutely fatal mistakes here from our Heat A pilots. They're really just battling for supremacy here in round number 6, our final round before finals. And Rocker Guy looking to set the exclamation point at the end of that one. But he's going to be fought for that position by KB and Imperius through the twisty bit. And KB showing mastery over that section as he comes out pretty far ahead, doing a great job conserving momentum while taking the tightest possible line. That's what the name of the game here is at Street League Drone Racing. As they work their way onto that second lap, it's going to be KB, Imperius, Rocker Guy, and Orange Stuff all in contention as they work their way onto the back straightaway. Through the U-turn, Imperius looking to make a move here, and he does. Is he going to be able to make it stick? It looks like he does into the Hurricane section. Imperius now on that first place position, taking it away from KB. KB just not even a mistake, just a slightly slower line, and that's going to let Imperius jump into the lead. And not only Imperius, but he's got to fend off now Rocker Guy and Orange Stuff onto the final lap. Looks like Imperius trying to run away with it now after stealing it from KB. Is he going to be able to hang on to the ball as he goes on to the last portion of our race through the twisty bit? It's going to be a battle for supremacy between Imperius and KB. Rocker Guy trying to throw hands in the mix now as well as he gets side by side with KB for that second place position. I believe we saw a little bit of a lag spike there, so I think we're going to have to depend on the times as they come down through the finishing hook. It's going to be Imperius in the lead. KB goes down. That's going to let Rocker Guy get at least second, and he does. Imperius taking the win, though, with a 158.8. Incredible time there from Imperius.
Whoa. Jeez, what a race, boys.
Absolutely crazy. Both Imperius and Rocker Guy. We were talking about setting just barely a sub 2-minute run. And now Imperius showing that it can be done by several seconds. Rocker Guy doing the same, but not enough when Imperius is popping off like that. Orange Stuff with a very solid run as well.
Fuck you, sir. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you, sir.
Beautiful racing.
Wow.
And that is going to be it for points rounds. We're going to give our timekeepers just a second to finish up those points as we go ahead and build out some heats here for our finalists. And you will have to give us just a moment while we work on that.
Dad, I missed tonight.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, the Memphis Grizzlies were playing, so
That's fair.
had to support the local team, you know.
Right.
Gotta do it. How'd they do?
They
Check
pulled
out
off
those
the
results.
win.
Alright, looks like we have results, though. Let's go ahead and pull those up. These are your final results after points round. It's going to be Imperius, your points leader there at the end when it counts, surmounting the monumental amount of points that KB managed to secure for himself. 70 points for KB. Rocker Guy sitting in that number 3 position. Looks like we don't have any ties here, so that's interesting. We managed to get those all resolved here in the last round. So Rocker Guy in 3rd, Orange Stuff in 4th, Potato FPV in 5th, Leadfingers in 6th. 7th place goes to 3080 Bot, and Fairy hanging on to that bubble position in 8th place. Some excellent, excellent racing from our pilots. We're going to go ahead and build out some of these heats, and I think we're going to kick it off with semifinal A first. That's going to be
Evens loaded into the lobby.
beautiful, and that's going to be, oh, you have evens loaded in. Beautiful. So that's what, KB is one of them? Okay, so this first heat going to be KB, Orange Stuff, Leadfingers, and Fairy. We're going going to kick this one off momentarily.
What's the password for this? Could I jump in here and
Absolutely.
watch?
Yeah, it's SL lowercase.
That's what I thought it was.
Alright, I believe we have our heats built out, so pilots, if you would like to ready up, feel free to. Here we go. We've got tones from Heat 1 of semifinal B. This heat going to be KB, Orange Stuff, Lead Fingers, and Fairy. Who's going to take the win? Winner advances to finals. And right now, it's not looking to be Lead Fingers as we see a little bit of an early mistake from him there. So he's got not much to lose. He's going to have to put everything on the table here. Right now, though, KB's got just the right amount of speed on the table here as he goes through the Hurricane section. He's going to be chased really closely by Orange Stuff. Is Orange Stuff going to be able to sneak that win away and a little bit of pride as well in heat number 1? We'll find out as we go on to lap number 2 with them both. KB, your leader, Orange Stuff sitting in that second place position, not by much, certainly less than tenths of a second, and a beautiful multiple choice gate there from Orange Stuff as he pressures KB onto the back straightaway. A nice line there from both of them as they go into the U-turn gate and up through the twisty bit. We've seen KB be excellent in this portion of the track so far, and he continues to do so as he works his way into the Hurricane section. A beautiful line there, though, from the twisty bit, and that's going to let him get a little bit of distance now on Orange Stuff, who's battling his way, hopefully, to that first place position. That's the only one that matters here in semifinals, and right now KB is looking to secure it. As he goes on to the lead lap, Orange Stuff playing chase. We got a fierce battle for third and fourth, though, between Lead Fingers and Fairy. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. But right now, the battle for first between Orange Stuff and KB. Who's going to take it? A little bit of a tap there from KB. He hangs on to it, but that's going to let the pass go to Orange Stuff here on the final lap. Orange Stuff now stretching his legs a little bit through the Hurricane section. Is he going to be able to hang on to it for the win? It looks like he may be able to. The center gate down around the flag, up through the high gate. It looks like Orange Stuff is going to sneak on into finals here on the last lap of round number 1. It's going to be Orange Stuff with a 1:59.28, an incredibly fast time. KB with an incredibly fast time as well, despite the mistake. But the stakes are higher here in semifinals as Orange Stuff rises to the challenge. Congratulations, Orange Stuff. You're going to top 4.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right. That's going to be it for heat number 1. We're going to run that one back. Same pilots minus Orange Stuff. If you could jump down, or we will kick it off again.
Orange Stuff being one of my biggest rivals personally in sim racing on DRL the sim.
Absolutely. We've got Adron in our lobby right now. He's one of the faster finalists that I've also had to contend with in some of our previous DRL tryout experiences. And his old rival moving on there. Orange Stuff taking the win. Who's going to take the win now in heat number 2 of semifinal B? Right now, looking to be Fairy with a solid launch. He's going to be fighting against KB, but unfortunately trying to cut it just barely too tight. Less than a foot too tight there for Fairy as he goes down, allowing KB into the lead. We may see the one-man show here for the rest of the race unless one of these yellow pilots can pull something off. Leadfingers trying to pull something out, but it's hard to pull something out of your trick of bags or bag of tricks when KB's got all the tricks in the bag as he goes on to lap number 2 through the multiple choice section. A great multiple choice section from him there.
Fairy has nothing to lose here as he needs to just make every cut and everything he can to be able to make this catch.
Absolutely. Both our second and third place pilots, nothing to lose. It's all out on the table right now. First place is the only place that matters here in semifinal, arguably one of the highest pressure points of the race. And right now, The pilot rising to the pressure is going to be KB. Wasn't able to secure it in that first
be careful,
heat,
KB.
but doing that against Orange Stuff is no small feat, especially when Orange Stuff is flying with that reckless abandon that we saw, but managing not to crash, and that's really the tricky part about it.
KB just not giving them anything, taking every inside line there is, just says, I don't care, we're going to win or we're going to lose.
Absolutely. We're seeing KB fly like the veteran sim pilot that he is, and it takes a little bit of a different strategy than we typically see in real-life racing. KB's got it. He's got the strategy on lock. He's got the skills, and he's got the pressure maintenance necessary to take the win and advance with a 158.8. I think things are starting to heat up a little bit.
And it was the PB.
The PB from KB
Let's go, KB.
on his way to
My
finals.
PB, at least, even though I was last.
Wow, that's that's what we love to see, though. Honestly, we see the pilots step up the pressure, step up to meet the pressure as we go into these final rounds, and ultimately, it leads to some pretty awesome racing. And I'm looking forward to how finals goes. But we're gonna say thank you to Leadfingers and Ferry. You guys provided us with some awesome racing all night long. Really appreciate you guys being here. Congratulations on top 8.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Take care. Good luck.
Yeah, that was fun. KB, go win for me, bud.
You got to root for that pilot that managed to knock you out. That's for
Right,
sure.
KB, get it.
Let's see. So our next group of pilots, that's going to be Imperious, Rocker Guy, Potato, and 3080 bots. Wanted to make sure I got that right. You guys are up next, and it looks like we've got our pilots in the lobby. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race.
This is an exciting round right here, I must say.
I'm excited for this one. I think the competition's pretty close overall.
Can we get you to call 2 pilots who you think might advance here, Sky?
I gotta go with my boy Imperious. He's been not only rocking the DRL sim, but also a lot of real-life racing. We've seen Rocker Guy do really well, but I'm going to go for a wild card here. I'm going to say Potato does well. I think it's his time.
Man,
Yes.
Potato has come on the scene. I think he's been around for a few years, if I'm not mistaken, but really in this last year, he's picked it up a whole nother notch.
And he's a somewhat new member to Street League Drone Racing as well, at least our simulator events, and he's just been absolutely killing it. It's a very different drone to fly, but he's been handling it with absolute grace and style as we go on to lap number 2 with both Imperious and Rocker Guy in the lead right now. Now, we've seen Rocker Guy set. He's had several top scoring positions in previous rounds, and Imperious doing the same. Both of them are capable of, absolute hot times. And it's just going to come down to who can do it when it matters. Who's it going to be between Imperious and Rocker Guy? Right now, it looks like Rocker Guy looking to make a move on Imperious, trying to make that pass through the Hurricane section. Didn't really manage to make it happen, but he's got some really nice altitude work there around the flag, and that's going to let him catch up a little bit onto the finishing hook, and he does it again. A nice swoop there, and you're going to see Rocker Guy working his way super close to the blue LEDs of Imperious onto the 3rd and final lap. Rocker Guy pushing, trying to catch up to Imperious. Is he going to be able to do it? Not a great U-turn gate there from Rocker Guy. That's going to let Imperious extend his lead just a little bit. But honestly, just the tiniest mistake, just the tiniest missed line, that's all it would take to see a mix-up here in heat number 1 of semifinal A. It's going to be Imperious, your leader. Rocker Guy trying every trick he's got to catch up. Is he going to be able to do it? I don't think so. It's going to be Imperious advancing to the top 4 with a 158.99. Not quite as fast as we saw from KV, but it's plenty to get the job done here in semi-final A. Congratulations, Imperious. You're going to finals.
Thank you, sir.
To Potato, Rocker Guy, and 3080 Bot, you're going to be up next as we wait for Imperious to drop, and we kick off our final round of semifinals. They're ready to race. They've been ready. They worked hard all night and much longer before that in terms of practice and stick time and effort to make sure that they could get to this point tonight here on Tryhard Tuesday with Street League Spec Drone Racing. We've got Potato. We've got 3080 Bot. We've got Rocker Guy, all sitting on the podiums. They're ready to go. We got lights, we've got tones, and away we go. Rocker Guy, 3080 Bot, Potato, all onto the multiple choice gate, but there's only one choice here in semifinals, and that's going to be the close one, the tightest line possible. It's going to go to Potato as he goes onto the back straightaway. Chasing him down is going to be the yellow LEDs of both 3080 Bot and Rocker Guy. Going to be tough to tell them apart, but honestly, telling any two colors apart is going to be tough as we see a little bit of a rainbow here on the Hurricane portion of our track as Potato now falling back into second place. Rocker Guy in the first place position as they all work their way up through the high gate. Some beautiful flying so far. You can barely tell the difference between the lines except for the few that we see from Rocker Guy, who seems to have a couple tricks up his sleeve to maintain the momentum on this track. Is Potato going to be able to replicate that kind of speed here as we go on to lap number 2? A very tight turn from Potato. Very well disciplined flying technique as he catches up just a little bit to Rocker Guy as we go on to the Hurricane gate. Rocker Guy, though, with some really nice late apexes through that portion of the track, up through the high middle gate and down around the flag. Rocker Guy doing a great job, just really thinking about every single angle, every single possible inch that he can gain on this track and really conserving momentum for where it matters. That's going to let him extend the lead just a little bit as we go on to lap number 3. You see your view here. You've got Potato in the white drone chasing down the yellow LEDs of Rocker Guy. Who's going to be able to take it? Potato with a super tight line there, catching up to Rocker Guy. The technique from Potato is incredible. Rocker Guy has the expertise, though. He's got the experience, and that's going to let him push just a little bit back ahead. There's different portions of the track that each of these pilots are good at, but ultimately, the best pilot on the track today, right now, in heat number 2, that's going to be Rocker Guy taking the win with a 158.90, one of the fastest times we've seen in semifinals, let alone today.
Good racing, man.
Great racing from Potato, an awesome effort from him trying to catch up to Rocker Guy.
Impressive.
3080 Bot, congratulations as well on your top 8 position here tonight.
And a PB.
And a PB. Wow.
Get me stressing, man.
Great racing, guys. And we're going to be looking for our finalists, our top 4, to be jumping in to our heats.
That Potato got a PB too.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's the
Screech,
last one.
can you make me the party leader again? I don't know why it likes you so much, dude.
Oh,
Good
did we
racing,
lose him?
Yes,
folks.
sir. I got you. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. There's a lot of entertainment to be had from your guys' skill, so really appreciate you joining.
Hold on, I gotta fix my drone.
Back on the racing floor.
Yeah, we gotta fix the lobby again. Oh no, it's not letting me change it. Okay, I gotta go back into the thing.
That would be wild.
All right.
It's actually interesting. 7th on the leaderboard. I believe I got 7th
Nice.
overall.
Not bad, 3080.
So
Coming for you, KB.
just so you guys know, and I think the leaderboard should represent this, but we haven't been inputting the times for semifinals. But semifinals, if you didn't make it to the top 4, you are scored based on the same format that points rounds was in. So you are comparing your times across the 2 semifinals to decide how those breakers are done, essentially. So it is important, even if you're not going to win a heat, if you're going to try to accumulate more points than the pilots in the other semifinal, you do still need to set a really fast time. So just a little tidbit there for the more nuanced rule geeks.
Yo, Crusher, could you make me group leader?
Sorry, who?
Lead fingers, please.
Don't I see?
I'm in the top 6.
Oh, there you are.
All right, that should have fixed the lobby.
There we go. Looks like we got our...
I gave a deal. It should have fixed it earlier.
Curious rocker guy. All right, it looks like we've got our pilots. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race. All right, here we go. This is going to be your top 4 gritting up on the podiums. It's going to be Rocker Guy, Imperious, and Orange Stuff, as well as, who's in 4th? KB. Working on that first lap. Now the format here changes just a little bit. For those of you who are not familiar, last place is going to get dropped. So we're going to see our pilots race a lot more conservatively going into this first race, but conservative when you're talking about the top 4 pilots is not much, as we see right now. The danger zone going to be encompassing Orange Stuff as he works his way to make the pass on Imperious and Rocker Guy. There's going to be hearts broken every single round in this next series of events as we start eliminating our top 4. KB looking not to be one of those pilots as he works his way onto the first place position. Second place going to be Rocker Guy, Imperious, and third Orange Stuff in that 4th place position. A little bit of pride here as we go on to lap number 2 with our fastest pilots. They want to prove that not only can they beat the other pilots in this heat and simply survive, they want to prove that they can thrive in the face of high stakes and high competition. There's no mistakes that can be made throughout this run as our pilots work to set their fastest times and fight to stay alive here in the top 4. Right now, KB still in the lead. Rocker Guy second. Third place going to be Imperious. No position changes so far. Unfortunately, that danger zone is going to be where Orange Stuff finds himself here on lap number 3. He's going to be looking for one of these pilots to crack, one of them to make a mistake, but no errors so far as we see all 3 pilots. Oh my gosh, just so tight of a pack here between Rocker Guy, Imperious, and KB. Who's going to take it? They've got one more turn to go, up through the high gate, down through the finishing hook, and it's going to go to Rocker Guy. No, KB taking it with a 158.89. Rocker Guy in second place, Imperious just barely in third. Crazy finish. Unfortunately, we're going to lose Orange Stuff there, but congratulations. You finished 4th place on Tryhard Tuesday. One of the hardest Tuesdays to win at.
Yeah, I'll have to come next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great racing.
Not Tryhard day. No.
Yeah, come on one of our non-Tryhard days. See if you have better luck.
It's fun racing you, Orange Stuff. I want to see you next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, appreciate you coming. And we will hopefully see you next time. All right, we're going to continue on now with our top 3. It's going to be KB, Rocker Guy, and Imperious. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared, pilots. And we will kick this off. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't think I can call this race. We just got to see a heat with these pilots absolutely inches from each other going on to the final straightaway. So, honestly, if I had to call this, I think we're going to see a win from KB here. but I couldn't call who's going to get knocked out. This is such a tight pack of pilots as we go on to the first portion of our track, the multiple choice gate. But like I said, no multiple choices once they've all found that fastest line. They found the meta, and they are working their way through the track as fast as possible as we work our way up through the twisty bit with KB, Imperious, and Rocker Guy side-by-side racing between Imperious and KB through the Hurricane. Imperious with a really fast exit there. That's going to let him jump up into the lead. Rocker Guy fighting to survive in that danger zone as we go on to lap number 2. Unfortunately, they are so close at this point that I imagine none of these pilots can even see any of the others ahead of them. And that's just how tight of racing this is. The internet honestly can't even keep up. And right now, it's going to be KB not being able to quite keep up with Imperious. But maybe I spoke too soon as he has an incredible launch down into the Hurricane. And it's going to be Imperious and KB side by side. Rocker Guy fighting to survive, hoping that some of the pressure that these pilots are providing each other will maybe make one of them crack and let him sneak on in to the top final race, the 1v1 at the end of our race that we will get to enjoy next. But first, we got to get through lap number 3 with Imperious, KB, and Rocker Guy. Right now, we start to see a little bit of separation. It's going to be Rocker Guy in that third place danger zone, but the crash from Imperious, and that's going to let Rocker Guy jump up into second place. Imperious playing chase as hard as he can. There's only one lap to make it up, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. Rocker Guy now free and clear in that second place position out of the danger zone. KB finishing out his run in first place, but it looks like Rocker Guy is going to be the story here as he sneaks his way in with a 159. It's going to be enough. The heartbreak for Imperious, finishing out third place. Some incredible racing all night. Our top points finisher, but here in top 4, anything can happen. So we hate to see you go, Imperious, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been awesome watching you race, but we're going to continue on now with KB and Rocker Guy. Your final contenders. These are two big dogs in the drone racing scene, especially the sim racing scene. And we're going to get to see them go head-to-head here for the final race of the night. Take your picks now in the chat. Let us know who you think is going to win. You got a 50-50 chance, honestly. It's about as good as it gets here in Street League drone racing.
There you go.
And here we go. We got lights, we got tones, and away we go with Rocker Guy and KB. And I think our favorite here is going to be KB as he was our second place points finisher. Rocker's been able to show that he's got the speed, though. He's taken a couple round wins. He can pull it out when necessary, and he's going to have to pull it out here in this race. And so far, not disappointing. KB is absolutely going to have to work for his lunch here as Rocker Guy tries everything he can to stay in that lead, but he's side by side with KB going on to lap number 2. KB just barely getting a little bit of an edge there. Down through the multiple choice gate they go, side by side. KB just with a slight advantage. Who's going to get the advantage onto the straight? Still going to be KB. Rocker Guy playing chase now as they go up through the twisty bit. And maintaining momentum there is absolutely crucial as we see KB absolutely crush that section into the Hurricane section. Now they go. Rocker Guy doing a great job. Good exit there, but ultimately KB just staying super tight to all of these gates. Who's going to take the win here? It's tough to tell. It hasn't been decided yet as Rocker Guy trying some of those signature lines that lets him get side by side with KB now on to lap number 3. Beautiful multiple choice gate from him there. KB still with that edge though. Rocker Guy gonna have to pull something out in the end here. It's probably gonna be decided by this right here. The twisty bit. That one's gonna go still to KB, but Rocker Guy now pushing ahead onto the Hurricane. A beautiful line from him there as KB now playing chase. And who's going to take it? It looks like Rocker Guy in the lead. There might be some lag, though, so we're going to have to leave it to the scorecard, leave it to the timesheet. Who's going to take the win? And it looks like it's going to go to Rocker Guy, taking the win, setting the fastest time of the race in the final heat of the race, a 1:57.
A PB couldn't even beat you, Rocker. Good job.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Rocker, how did you do it? Where did you find the time, buddy?
I don't know, man. KB just lit a fire in my ass, man. I just pushed harder than I thought I could.
Absolutely, and you held on to it the entire way. No mistakes whatsoever. You guys were neck and neck just about the entire time. I think let's hear it in the chat, in our YouTube chat. If you thought that was some awesome racing, if you could watch that every night and be a happy man or woman, I think that was some great racing, guys. I sincerely thank you for providing that great racing for all of our fans and our audience and myself personally. Congratulations to you, KB. You finished second place here on Tryhard Tuesday. And special congratulations to you, Rocker Guy, for pulling it out when it mattered. Great racing, guys. We really appreciate you having, or we really appreciate having you guys race with us tonight. So that's going to be it for our live stream. Guys, if you are interested in getting in on this has been so much fun, and we have such awesome pilots and such an awesome community. Go ahead and jump in our Discord. If you're new to drone racing, even if you've never tried it out, we really encourage you to just give it a shot. It's so much fun, and we love trash talking with our buddies and racing, and this is what we do, and I couldn't be happier with it. So that's going to be it for our stream, though. We really appreciate you guys joining us, and we will catch you next time on Street League Drone Racing.
Awesome.
This is Sky FPV, signing out.